Fine then. Good evening, all. Let's start the class now. So, I think those who are new, let me just quickly recap the things we have covered in the last class, okay, in the demo session. Okay. First of all, let me share my screen. Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So before we move ahead, let's quickly recap what we have covered in the last class. Okay. Fine. So in the last class, we began by going through the syllabus of the Power BI, okay, which is there, I think, yeah. So we have discussed what all are the topics which we will be going to cover in this batch, okay, and then following that, we explore the concept of business intelligence, okay, that is what it means and why it's important, why business intelligence is important, okay. We then delve into the high level BI architecture of the business intelligence that is commonly implemented across many organizations. Okay, so during that discussion, we covered the staging environment and the concept of data warehouse and its subsets known as data marts. Okay. Next, uh, next we reviewed the various BI tools available in the market and then focus specifically on the components of Power BI. And then we discuss the role and significance of each component like Power BI desktop, Power BI service, Power BI mobile app, and the Power BI servers and the report builders. Okay. And after understanding the components, we talked about some core Power BI elements. Okay. Let me just show you. Yeah, here it is. Like specifically data sets, visualizations, tiles, reports, dashboards. Okay. And then we also covered the four main views in the Power BI desktop. Okay, like the data view where you can see and explore the tables, and then we have the report view where your visuals and reports are displayed. Then we have the model view which shows the relationships between your tables and your data model structure. Okay. Then we have the DAX query view where we can write and test your DAX formulas and expressions. Okay. So that's a quick summary of what we discussed last time. Okay. So I hope you guys have gone through the demo session also if you have missed the demo class. Okay. So now, till here we have discussed. Okay. So let's now get introduced to the ETL tool. Okay. So before moving to the Power Query Editor, do you guys have any question related to syllabus or related to whatever we have covered in the demo session? Yes or no?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening.
Good
This is
evening.
my first class basically. So I just want
Mm-hmm.
to know where is the demo session? Is it uploaded on YouTube?
Yes, it was uploaded on YouTube and we have also shared in the WhatsApp group. I hope
Oh,
you were there in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So we have just basically gone through the syllabus and all these things orally. Okay. We haven't started any hands-on practice. Okay. So we have just we have just take a overview of all these things. Okay.
okay.
You can go through the demo. Okay. That is
All right.
not as complex thing. Okay. Fine.
Okay. Thank you.
So any more question? Yeah, welcome. Any more question? Okay. So let's just start with the ETL tool within the Power BI. And this ETL tool is also known as Power Query Editor. Okay. For now, we are just going to take a tour of the interface. Okay, we won't be importing any data or performing transformations yet. Okay, the goal is simply to understand how Power Query Editor looks and feels like. Okay, so to access the Power Query Editor, first we have to open the Power BI desktop. Okay, so once you will open the Power BI desktop, you will have the GUI something like this. Okay, this is the GUI of the Power BI desktop. Okay, then we have to go to the Home tab, and there you will find an option labeled as Transform Data. Okay, clicking on this, it will launch the Power Query Editor. Okay, I have just, okay, let me just show you. Now this is, I have opened the Power BI desktop and I just want to go to the Power Query Editor where we can transform our data. Okay, so I will just simply click on this transform data icon. So this will open the Power Query Editor in a separate window. Like you guys can see here, if I hover my cursor over this tab. Okay, so we have two tabs. One is for Power BI desktop, and this one is for Power Query Editor. Okay, so this is how we launch the Power Query Editor. Let me repeat it again. Once you will click on this transform data, a new window will open, and that window is known as Power Query Editor. Okay, so one window is for Power BI desktop, and the second one specifically for the Power Query Editor. Now, let's briefly explore the layout of the Power Query Editor. So this is my Power Query Editor. And you can see this is different from what we have in Power BI desktop. Here we have the all the four views and all these options, different options, the visualization part, this data part. But in Power Query Editor, let's just explore what we have in Power Query Editor. Okay, so on the left hand side, you will see the queries pane. Okay, here you will find a list of all the different tables in your data. Okay, these are referred to as queries within Power Query Editor. Okay, whatever tables you will import into the Power BI desktop and then into the Power Query Editor, all the tables will be visible here into the queries pane. Okay, now onto the right hand, you will see the applied steps. Okay, for each selected query or table, this selection this section displays the series of transformation steps that have been applied. Okay, it essentially tracks every action you perform during data cleaning or shape. Okay, so don't worry, we will explore this in much more detail, okay, once we actually start importing the data and performing transformations. For now, this gives you a good visual introduction to Power Query Editor. Okay, so let me show you the Power Query Editor from so this Power Query Editor is from one of my previous batch. Okay, so let's just understand what this Power Query Editor looks like. Okay, so here, take a look at the first table, title named as film. Okay, and just so here we have the table named as film. Okay, and you might also notice when we will be doing the hands-on, there we can see the tables, the parameters, and all these things will be here only. Okay, so we will go over what parameters are, okay, later point of time. But for now, just remember the left panel displays the names of the tables and also contains the parameters. Okay. And on the right hand side, you will see the details of the transformation steps that have been applied to this table, this film table. Okay. If you have multiple tables and if you will select different tables, then according to that table, whatever applied steps you have performed, then that will be appear here. Okay. So right now we just have only one table. So that's why for this particular table, whatever the transformation steps have been applied, it is showing us in here. Okay. So here on the right hand side, you will see the details of the transformation steps that have been applied to this table. Okay. So these are list in the applied steps, ma'am. Okay. For example, here we have the source. Okay. If you click on the first step, uh, click on this. Okay. So it shows you the original data source where your data is coming from. Okay. It is showing me the file path. Okay. That your data is coming from this location. Okay. Moving to the next step, like we have the navigation here. So it indicates what specific data or table you are selecting or pulling from the source. Okay. So see, whatever sheet I have selected, it is showing me that this sheet one has been imported in this table. Okay. Then comes the promoted headers step. So this promoted headers just promote the headers of the table. Okay. And then we have the change data type. So we will go through many different transformation steps once we will start the hands-on. Okay. So every transformation you apply to your data tables gets recorded here in the applied steps. Okay. And it provides a step by step history of all the changes made. Okay. So you can easily track and manage your data cleaning and preparation process. Now, coming on to the home, or what we can home toolbar. Okay. So right now we are at the home tab, and let's discuss about this home tab. What are all the options available in the home tab? Okay. So first we have this close and apply. Okay. So when you click on close and apply, okay, all the transformation steps you have performed in Power Query Editor will be applied and you will be taken back to the Power BI desktop. Okay. This is how you confirm and finalize your changes. So this is what this option does. It will apply all the changes you have done and it will close this whole window and it will take you back to the Power BI desktop. Okay. Then with the help of new source, if you need to bring in additional files or tables, you can use this new source. Okay. So this allows you to connect to more data sources as needed. Okay. In fact, Power BI supports connections to over 100 different types of data sources, making it very flexible for your data import needs. Okay. Then we have the recent sources. Okay. You can also using this, you can also access data sources you have previously connected to through this recent sources. Alternatively, if you want to manually input data like we do in Excel, you can just use this enter data thing option. Okay. Then we have this data source setting. So if you ever need to adjust your existing data source setting, you can do that using this option, data source settings. Okay. Then you will also find options to refresh all your tables or dive into the advanced editor we have in here. Okay. So in this advanced editor, you can view and edit the M code behind your transformation. So M code is the scripting language Power Query uses to perform all these steps. Okay. So once we will start the transformation, I will show you how this encode will work. Okay. Then we have the choose column option, which helps you to select particular column. Okay. Then we have a remove column option and remove rows option, like what all the columns or rows you want to remove from the data set. Okay. Then we have the splitting columns option, which will splits the columns into multiple parts. Okay. Then we have the group by option to aggregate the data. Okay, and then we have options to merge or append queries. Okay, so these are both the different things, and we will discuss these two things in very much detail. What is the merge queries and append queries? Okay, so uh, do you guys have any question related to this home tab, whatever we have discussed till now? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Mhm. Fine then. Now let's move on to the transform tab. Okay, so this transform tab offers an even wider range of transformation options. Okay, you will notice that some of the functions here are like what we can say split columns and all things overlap with those in the home tab. Okay, like we have this split column, also we will have the group by option here as well, which is in both the home tab and transform tab. So yeah, so you can access it from either tab based on your convenience. Okay, so within the transform tab you can perform a variety of data transformations. Okay, like such as where we have, okay, so use the first row as header. We can perform that, which promotes the first row to be the column headers. Okay, by using this we can do that. Then we have this transpose option, which means swapping rows into columns and columns into rows. Then we have the reverse rows to flip the data order. And then we have the count rows option, which will count the number of rows in your data set. Then we have replace values. If you need to clean or correct data entries, we can use this. Then we have unpivoting of columns to reshape your data for better analysis. Then we have the again the splitting columns option, which will split the columns into multiple columns. Okay, and also we have some mathematical transformations. Okay, like this statistics standard scientific. Okay, so we can use this as well. Okay, so we will explore all this feature in depth once we start working with actual data set in Power BI. Okay, for now just get familiar with what's available here. Okay, no need to worry about the details at this stage. I'm just giving you an overview. Okay, then we have the add column option. uh, in this tab, add column tab, if you need to create new columns, okay, in your existing data set within the Power Query editor, you will do that through this add column tab. Okay, when you apply transformations uh, from this tab, instead of modifying your existing columns, new columns will be generated in your dataset to reflect these changes. Okay, so you have several options here for adding columns. Okay, we have first option, that is column from examples. Okay, you can create new columns by simply providing examples of the values you want. Okay, and Power BI will automatically figure out the logic. Okay, you just have to write two or three values, then it will automatically populate the values for you. Okay, then we have the custom column option. So you can define your own logic and formulas to create fully customized columns. Okay. Then we have the invoke custom functions. This allows you to apply predefined or custom functions to generate new columns. Okay. Then we have the conditional column option. You can create columns based on if and then logic. Okay. Assigning values based on certain conditions. Okay. Then we have the index column option. So this is basically used to create what we can say like a series of number of like you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It will use to create like this index column option. Okay. Then we have the duplicate option. Okay. If you want to create an exact copy of an existing column for further transformation, you can do that too as well. Okay. And then we have what we can say, all these things. There are options to create columns using mathematical functions for performing calculations directly during the transformation stage. Okay. So we will explore each of these things, okay, each of these options thoroughly once we start working with actual data set. Okay. So then we have the view tab. Okay. If you want to examine the quality and structure of the data, okay, like then you can use the view tab. Okay. So view tab offers several helpful tools. Okay. Using options like column profile we have in here. Here we can see that column profile. Then we have the column quality and column distribution. Okay. You can get a quick analysis of your data columns. So column quality shows you how many values in a column are valid, how many contain errors, and how many are blank or empty. Okay. Then we have the column distribution option, which provides a visual summary of the unique and duplicate values within a column. Okay. Then we have the column profile option, which gives you the detailed statistics and insights about each column, helping you understand the data better. Okay. So this process is known as column profiling, and it helps to ensure your data is clean and reliable. Okay. Before you move forward with analysis. Okay. You can find all this option in the view tab. Okay. So that wraps up our quick introduction to Power Query Editor. So if you have any questions about what we have covered so far, feel free to ask. You guys have any question related what we have covered till now? The overview of Power Query Editor? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. Fine then. Now, first of all, let me show you how to install the Power BI desktop. Okay. Although I believe most of you might have already have it installed. Okay. But let me show you that as well. So there are two main ways to install Power BI Desktop. Okay, one is through Microsoft Store. Let me just show you. So here in the Microsoft Store on your computer, you can just search in here Power BI Desktop. Okay, and that will appear. So once you will find it, you will get an option to install that. Okay, as I have already installed it, so that's why I'm getting this option to get open. Okay. No, but once you will search for it, then you will get an option to install it. Okay. So click on the install button and it will automatically set up Power BI desktop on your machine. Okay. So there's no complicated process involved. You can just simply click on install and it will start installing it. Okay. Then the second option, if you don't have Microsoft Store, then you can uh, simply Google it and you can search for it. Okay. You just go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So on the Google, you can just search for the Microsoft Power BI Desktop download. You can get the option and just go to the official site of Microsoft, and from there you can just download it. Okay. So these are the two ways you can download the Power BI Desktop. Okay. Fine. Let me just close this because this is a used Power BI Desktop instance. let me just open a new one where we can start learning how to import the data and all those things. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me just close it. Start. So let me open the blank report. So today our focus will be on learning how to bring data from different sources into Power BI desktop. Okay. So now that I've opened Power BI desktop, okay. So this is a blank Power BI desktop instance. So you can see the graphical user interface. Okay. As we have discussed earlier, Power BI desktop offers four main views. Okay, which we can see it in here. Okay. Currently, we are in the report view. If you switch to the table view, you just have to click on it. You won't see any data yet since we haven't imported any tables into our project. Okay. Similarly, in the model, we don't have any data model, okay, visible at the moment as we are yet to add data sources. Okay. So let's start by importing some data. Okay. So to bring data into Power BI, first of all, you should be in the Home tab. Okay, here you have this option, Get Data. Okay, so this is where you can connect Power BI to various data sources. Okay, today I will be showing you how to connect Power BI desktop to multiple types of data sources like CSV files, Excel workbooks, Microsoft SQL Server database, and web-based data sources. Okay, this will give you a solid understanding of how versatile Power BI is when it comes to handling different kinds of data. So let's begin by importing data from an Excel file or a CSV file. Okay, first. So let me just click on this get data option. So initially you will see a few common data source options, which is our here Excel workbook, Power BI semantic models, and all these things. You guys can see it. But if you click on more option, so here a new window will appear, and in this window you will notice a wide variety of data sources that Power BI supports. Okay, so all these data sources Power BI supports. Okay, so currently Power BI can connect to over 100 different data sources. And this extensive connectivity is one of the major reasons why Power BI is not just popular, but actually the most widely used BI tool in the market today. Okay, it can connect to various data sources as you can see it in here. Okay, so since we want to import a CSV file or a flat file, okay, so we just have to click on this text CSV. Okay, if you will click on it and then you have to click on connect. Okay, so after that, Power BI will prompt you to select the file from your system. Okay, so navigate to the location where you have saved your file. Okay, right now I want to bring, let me just check what can I bring. Do we have all this? Okay, let me just bring this order CSV file. Okay, so I will select it and then I will click on open. So Power BI will then establish the connection and then it will display a preview of your data which you are trying to bring into the Power BI. Okay, So here you can see a snapshot of the table, which includes the column headers and a sample of data rows. It is just the sample, not a whole data set. Okay. So keep in mind that this preview is based on the first 200 rows of your data set. Okay. You will also notice Power BI automatically detects the delimiter in here. Okay. Which in this case of a CSV file is a comma. Okay. Since CSV stands for comma separated values. Okay. Once you have selected your file and viewed the preview, you will have two choices. Okay. First one is to load and the second one is to transform data. Okay. So let me explain the difference between these two. Okay. Like if you click load data, what will happen, and what if you will click transform data, what will happen? Okay. So if you click on this load, okay, as I'm doing right now, okay, let me click on it. Some time. Okay. So as I've tried to click on it's gone. So I've tried to click on load. Okay. So Power BI will attempt to import the data directly into the Power BI desktop. Okay, understand this. When you will click on load option, the Power BI will try to import the data directly into the Power BI desktop. Okay. Now you will see notice. Okay. You will have noticed this. It is showing an error message. Okay. And when I check the error, like if I will click on view errors, let me just click on it. So it indicates that certain transformations are needed before the data can be properly loaded into the Power BI desktop. That's why it has redirected me to the Power Query editor. So if you remember, this GUI is the GUI of Power Query editor. So as I have clicked on the view errors, it redirected me to the Power Query editor. So okay, so this is a common situation, which is why in most cases it's better practice to first go through the transform data option. Okay, so let me just close this one. Dot saving. Okay, so let me show you the. Okay, let me show you the correct approach. So let me get the data again. Take CSV, RSCSV, pin. And now, instead of selecting this load option, okay, what I will do, I will select this transform data. Okay, so by doing this, let me just click on it. You won't encounter the earlier error. Okay, like we have faced earlier. Okay, instead, you will be taken to a new window. Okay, and this window is nothing but the our Power Query editor where transformations of the data take place. Okay, so this is the Power Query editor, Power BI's built-in ETL tool where you can clean, transform, and prepare your data. Okay, so the previously imported data order CSV is already here, and right now I have uh, imported another order CSV through the transform data, which is also in here. Okay, so is this clear? What is the difference between the load option and the transform data option while importing the data?
Yes.
What about others? Is that clear? Do you
Yes, sir.
have
Yes, sir.
any question? Okay, great. So when you will try to click on load, it will directly try to load the data into the Power BI desktop. Okay. But if you will click on transform data, it will redirect you to the Power Query editor first. That, okay, take this data set, transform your data, check your data, solve the errors, and then close and apply, and then it will be loaded to the Power BI desktop. Okay. So that's the thing. So inside Power Query Editor, you can perform all your necessary data transformations. Once you are done with the transformation, you can just simply click on close and apply, as I have told, to load the clean data into the Power BI desktop. Okay. So this is the proper way to bring a CSV file into Power BI. Okay. Like, let me just quickly explain that again. Click on get data, select the text CSV, point the desired file on your system, choose the transform data. Okay. Then your data will be imported. Fine. Now let me just close this again. So this is how we can bring the data from CSV file into the Power BI desktop. Changes. Now let's see how to import the data from an Excel file. Okay, so to get an Excel workbook, you can either select this Excel workbook option directly from the home tab, or you can go to this option, get data. From here, you can select Excel workbook. Okay, there are many options to bring the Excel dataset from your system, okay, into the Power BI. So I will just select this Excel workbook option, and let me just bring this sample superstore. Click on it. So once you will do that, Power BI will read the workbook, and it will then prompt you to choose which sheets or tables within the Excel file you would like to import. Because if you have ever seen a Excel file, there are multiple tabs, okay, multiple sheets, you can say. So Power BI will give you the option to select what sheet you want to bring into the Power BI as well. Okay. So in that sample superstore Excel file, we have three sheets. So Power BI is telling me that what you want to bring, which sheets you want to bring into the Power BI desktop. Okay, let me just select all the sheets. I want to bring all the sheets, or you can pick only any specific one. Okay, so the process from here is simple, just like with CSV file. Okay, click on load to import the data directly, or transform data to clean and prepare the data before loading. Okay. If any errors occur during the process, you can always handle them later in the Power Query editor. Okay, which will which we will cover in detail later on. Okay. For now, our focus is on understanding how to successfully import data into Power BI desktop. Okay. So this is how we can bring the data from an Excel workbook to our Power BI desktop. Okay. Hope it is clear till now, like how to bring the data from CSV and Excel file. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me show you how to connect your Power BI to a database. Okay. Specifically SQL Server. Okay. So first, an important point to remember is that while importing the data from your database, okay, uh, so what you have to do in order to successfully connect and pull data into Power BI from your SQL server, okay, you must have to make sure that your database will be open. Okay, so let me do that first. Let me open my SQL database. Okay. Just a minute. So, is it getting open or not? Sometime your database will take some time. Yeah, it is getting done. Okay, fine. Once you will launch it, take a note of your server name. Okay. In my case, it is Ingenious. Make sure you remember this because you will need to enter the server. So what I was saying, like make sure you remember this because you will need to enter the server names when you connect from Power BI. Okay, this is needed your server. Okay, so once you will enter your server name, then you can simply click on connect. Yeah. So once it will be connected, here you can see the list of databases available on the server right now. Okay, in my SQL server. Okay, so now let's try to import one of these databases into Power BI. Okay, so this database is currently in my SQL server. Okay, and I want to bring this into my Power BI desktop. Okay, so how to connect that? Let's see. So for that, let's go to the Power BI desktop. Okay, and here again, click on Get Data and select More. Okay, so you will see what are all the available data sources present in the Power BI desktop with which you can connect it. Okay, here we can see we have the SQL Server database, Oracle database, so IBM DB2 database, so MySQL database. So all the databases will be available there. So whatever database you want to connect with Power BI, you can just simply connect it. Okay, so here I will simply select this SQL Server database and I will click on connect. Next, Power BI will prompt you to enter the server name. I have told you to remember your server name. So in my case is Ingenious. And the database which I currently want to bring in, you have to mention the same database name. Okay, with all the spellings check and all this thing. So let's say I want to bring this Adventure Works 2014. Okay, so I will write it down in here. Adventure Works 2014. Okay, so for the inconvenience. So I have typed my server name and the database name. Okay, and for now, I will just keep the data connectivity to import mode. Okay, I will explain you what is the difference between these two. But for right now, let's just keep it in the import mode. Okay, so now I will click on OK, and let's give it a moment. Yeah. So Power BI will now connect to the database. Okay. As soon as you will click on OK, you will see a window displaying all the objects within the database. okay, including the tables, views, store procedures, all the things you can see it in here, okay, in the preview. Okay, so from this window, you can select any number of tables or views you would like to import. Okay, so these are all the things which are present in my what database, AdventureWorks 2014. That's why it is displaying me that what are all the tables or the views you want to bring it into the Power BI desktop. Okay, so I will select few tables. Let me just select it. Something from production schema. Let me just, I just want to keep few tables only. Let me just bring this product. Yeah, that will be fine. Just take a view. Some from the sales table schema. Let me just bring this sales. Oh, I will bring this as well. Okay. I'm selecting this because these are of some less memory. Okay, that's why I'm selecting this because connecting with databases will take some time if your database is slow. Just load. Okay, fine. The previews are here. We can simply see the previews in here. Now, after selecting it, as these tables are well structured, so you can directly click on load. Or if you know that these tables don't have any errors, okay, you can just directly click on load. So if I will click on load, so Power BI will start importing these tables as you can see in here. Okay. So Power BI is trying to load all those tables which I have selected from the where from the databases, SQL Server database. Okay. It is trying to fetch all those tables. Okay. So once loaded, you will see all the imported tables list in the fields pane. You can see it in data. Okay. So to view the actual table structure, okay, right now you cannot see what are the things present in this product table or this table or this table. Okay. So as I have told you earlier that in the table view, you can see all your table structure. Okay. Like what tables contains. Okay. As you can see, that's why this view is known as table view. So, and that's how you successfully connect your Power BI to what? To a SQL Server database and import the data. Okay. So this is one way. So there's more flexibility when importing the data into the Power BI. For instance, if you want to import only specific columns or filtered data from a table instead of this entire data set, okay, you can do that as well by writing the SQL query during the import process. Let me give you an example. So before moving further, do you guys have any question? Yes or no?
No, sir.
So let's say we want to bring some. Okay, let's go to this sales order. Okay. So here in this table, instead of this whole table, okay, whole whole record, okay, uh, what I want to bring into the Power BI desktop is I just want only those records whose order quantity is greater than 10. Okay, we want to filter it that only rows where the quantity exceeds 10 are brought into the Power BI desktop. Is the condition clear to you all? Like here in this order quantity, I just want to bring only those records whose order quantity is greater than 10. Is this clear? The condition?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, assuming you all are familiar with the basic SQL queries, so this would so can you guys tell me what would be the SQL query for that? Anybody? Like I want to bring this the records only whose order quantity is greater than 10. So what would be the SQL query? Any idea? Yes or no? I'm talking about the SQL queries, not the process that how to bring. Like, do you guys know how what would be the SQL query for this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, tell me what would be the SQL query to bring that condition or like that data set? Mhm.
First, we have to select columns from the
Okay,
table. Then order
okay.
by which column you have to order by. Then order by
Order
column
by.
name
Oh,
and ascending descending.
no,
Uh,
that will just order that. That will just mm, make your table in a way ascending or descending. But I want only those data where
okay.
the order quantity is greater than 10. That is my question. Have you guys heard about where clause?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It would be very simple. Select a star from this sales.sales order detail where order quantity would be greater than 10. Okay,
Yeah.
is that clear? Okay, and let me just show you that as well. So I will click on get data. Then again, I will choose SQL Server. Here my server name is Genius Database Adventure Works 2014. Okay, now we have this advanced option. Okay, so in this advanced option, here you can directly type your SQL query. Okay, so let me just write it down. Select star from what is the table name? Sales dot sales. I think order detail. Order details. Detail we have sales dot sales order detail. Mm, where the column name was I think order 21. Okay, it should be greater than how much? 10. Yes or no? This would be
Yes.
the SQL query for that condition. Okay, so I have written the SQL query and right now I'm going to click on this OK. Okay, see we have this preview. Okay, now it is not showing me all the tables or the views or the stored procedures from the database. Okay, SQL Server database. It is only showing me those records where the order quantity is greater than 10. Can you guys see this? This is just a sample record. So it is not showing me that thing which where I was trying to bring the whole table. Okay, this whole table is sales dot sales order detail. Okay, right now it is just showing me the preview of this only. So is this clear? The preview? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, let me just click on load, see what happens. Each and every time you will try to bring some new data from your SQL database, okay, then all the existing tables will also get refreshed. As you can see, production, product, sales quantity, region, and sales order detail. So these are all the previous tables which we have imported, along with the table which I'm trying to bring it right now. Okay, so let it just load. So connecting to your databases, make sure your database should be fast. Okay, and you guys should have good network. Or sometimes using databases will take some time. Okay. So it has successfully connected. Now here you can see the table has been loaded. Okay, this table has been loaded, but the important thing to be noted here is that uh, what I can say, this table name has been named as query 1 because we have used query to bring that data. Okay, here if I will just select this query, okay, and here if I will just see the options, what, so here you can see all the options are here greater than 10. Okay, only those records have been imported, rest have been filtered. So the bottom line is you can write SQL queries as well, okay, while importing the data into the Power BI from your databases. Hope this is clear how to bring the data from Microsoft SQL Server database. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, fine then. If that is clear, now let me also connect to some of the web database. Okay, so web database, just so let me open the file first. Where it should be Power files, I think. Okay. So let's say if a certain a website is free to use, I mean the data there is not subjected, okay, like not subjected to security risk. Okay, so that data from website also you can get into the Power BI. Okay, because those websites are allowing you to get the data. Okay, so you can bring the data from the website as well. Okay, so that is very simple. You should again have to go to the home tab, select the get data, and from here you just have to select web. Okay, and here you just have to paste the URL from where you want to bring the data. Okay, so I will just copy this. I just paste it in here and I will click on OK. So it is trying to establish the Power BI with that site. Okay, that site name is worldpopulationreview.com. Okay, so we will just conclude this meeting after this thing. Just wait for 2 or 3 more minutes. Okay, take that much. We're just trying to establish the connection with that site. Let it just establish. Okay, so it has established. Now, the preview. Okay, fine. So now if you see there are certain tables, okay, which come from that particular website. Okay, like here we can see HTML tables. Here we can see the table one population ranges and all these things. Okay, so let me get 1 or 2 tables from here. You can directly click on them. Like let me just select any of those tables. Okay, just select this table, this table. Okay, I'm just trying to load this table, and if I will click on load, so those tables will get imported into our Power BI desktop. Okay, so this is the way to get the data from different sources into the Power BI. Okay, it will just evaluate and it will just load those tables. Okay, so there are few more sources, like there is a SharePoint, and there is also the some of the other databases like Oracle DB. You can get data from all those databases into the Power BI by using the method that I just showed. Okay, and that is basically what. So that is basically this thing. You can bring the data from different sources, and this is very important because let's say if you are facing the interviews and they will ask you this question: how many data sources have you worked on in Power BI? So you can definitely say like a SQL Server database, MySQL Server database, CSV, flat files, Excel files, and all those things. Okay, so this is how we can bring the data or import the data. Here you can see, if I will just go in here, and we have the table 3 and table 5. So these tables are directly imported from the what? From the browser. Okay,
Right.
using that URL. Okay, hope it is clear. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you guys have any question related to this importing part?
No, sir.
Okay. No one has any question?
No.
Okay. Fine then. We have already, time is over, so we will just conclude this meeting and let's connect tomorrow. Okay. Okay, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, till then, bye and take care.